All right, here we are at Ropeadope headquarters in East Philadelphia for Ropeadope TV, and blessed once again with a special guest, Chantae Cann.
Hi.
So good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I miss you. We saw each other when, in December or January?
I can't even
New
remember.
York City? Were you in New York?
Oh yeah, at the party thing.
Yeah,
it was great.
It was fun.
That was the last time. Yep.
So you are on the road?
On the road again. Well, yeah. Again, I can
So
say
you were
again.
did you drive up from DC?
Yep.
Oh, Atlanta to DC.
Atlanta to DC to here, and then we're going back.
Good. I read today that the third worst traffic spot in the United States is between Richmond and DC. New York City, Los Angeles, and then
Okay.
95. So did you get through okay?
No, we got through fine.
Good.
At least the time that came up was actually perfect.
You were at NPR yesterday. I saw
A
online.
couple days ago was so great. It was so much fun.
And now here,
Yes, and now
which
here.
means that some way we are kind of in the company of NPR.
Yeah,
Ropeadope TV.
by association.
Just shameless plug
That's
there.
fine.
So you're at Philly tonight, Warm Daddies.
Mhm.
Cool little spot.
Yes, Kindred and the Family Soul does this series, and they bring artists from all over. I'm sure you guys have heard of it, but
I haven't until.
okay. I don't know the
today.
exact
Yeah.
name of the series. It's like something soulful, but
Are they Philly based?
yeah.
Okay.
Philly or DC based, or both, or one or the other. But they're at Warm Daddies, and yeah, they're gonna do like an interview, and I'll do a couple songs, and there's some other artists there as well. So
Nice.
looking forward to it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we got a record.
Yay, we got a record.
Record.
I'm so excited.
Soul empowered.
Yeah, it rhymes with Colin Powell. I found that out the other day. Seriously, every time I say Soul Empowered, I'm like, Colin Powell, Colin Powell,
Colin Powell. Soul
Colin
empowered.
Powell needs to have this record. So if anybody has a connection to Colin, we'd love to talk.
Get the music
Yes.
that rhymes with your name.
Yeah.
You need to have it. We'll
Why not?
mail it out for free.
Yes, we will.
And we'll do it on a private email server. All right. And official. So release date is October 13th.
Yes.
And this is the follow-up to
Journey to Golden, which
Journey
you guys
to
have here
Golden.
too.
Right
That's so
here.
cool.
Right?
J2D, J2G.
J2G.
Yes.
And can you compare the two? Can you tell me a little bit about how it felt,
Yeah.
how it feels now compared to then?
Yep. Well, I'll say initially, now that I have like this bird's eye view of everything that has transpired musically, my first album, it took a long time to put out, you know.
Oh, right.
The first one's always the hardest. For me, because I've been working on it for so long, and
You still beat Sean Martin.
I don't. We
took
might
him
be on the
7
same. I
years.
know, 7 summers. Shout out
Yeah.
to Sean. We love you. Yeah, it might have been the same since I initially started working on it the very first time. But
I emailed Sean the other day and said it's been 2 summers.
he's
like,
gonna put out another album called 2 Summers or 3 Summers.
There you
Then
go.
it's gonna get to 1, and then he's gonna change it. But
There
anyway,
you go.
that's just an idea. So yeah, it took a long time for that first one to come out, and I think once it did, it gave me that, it kind of paved the way for Soul Empowered. And I guess how the two vary musically, Journey to Golden is very atmospheric and laid back and tranquil, and you know, it just kind of I think you can play it at, I don't want to say any occasion, because you can't like go to a heavy metal spot and play Journey to Golden, but it's very jazzy, still with soulful undertones, but it's very, you know, laid back, just cool and calm and collective. And I think with Soul and Power, we got into more variety of sound. There's more, you know, various instrumentation and kind of a few touching on different genres, which I was excited about that. You know, just kind of mix it up a little. There's some more up-tempo stuff, and this one has more of a deliberate, intentional message. just of me being in a place of empowerment and me wanting to share that with other people as well. And like I told you before, with Journey to Golden, I kind of went to my musician friends and we kind of, you know, said like, what can we do with this? Or like, let's see if we can come up with some stuff. But with Soul Empowered, like the majority of it really came from the inside of my soul. Journey to Golden came from my soul as well, but with Soul Empowered, it was more like it started with me, and then I asked my musical friends to accompany me instead of the other way around.
Right, so the vision comes. You had a clearer idea of what you wanted to do. Yeah, there is diversity there. It's funny how you can put something on and listen to it for a while, and hear it, and hear different things. So the other day I was in the car, I had the CD in, when the CDs got here, and I'm driving along, and I get halfway through a song, and I'm like, there's no vocals. I even had to go, I'm like, is there supposed to be an instrumental track on this record? And I love it, and you know, that hit. And then, of course, the car is such a great place, so I got to like tracks 10 and 11, and that's, you know, I'm not saying that people should skip ahead, but I'm saying when you get to tracks 10 and 11, and you know, that's where you see some of the message and purpose that you have. And you know, I want to talk about this because one of the themes that keeps coming up is how people respond to the world around them. And it's with musicians, it's really fascinating. I talked with Christian Scott, talked with Shannon Powell. There's a process of looking at the suffering of the world, and the pain, and transforming that to something powerful with a message or some joy, which seems to kind of be what music is generally about, right? Yeah. But it's just so uplifting and delicate. Like, how do you get to that space when you're performing to just, you know, I think most of us just are like, ugh, the world is this, you know, and a lot of people react with anger. How do you get to this uplifting spot?
Well, I mean, music for me naturally is an outlet, and so I'm a super feeler. Like, I'm super emotional about certain things that touch me in a certain way. And for a time, I used to get upset at myself for being emotional, and I'm like, why are you crying about this? Why do you feel this? Why do you feel this way? And I'm like, God, why do I feel things the way that I do? But I realized, like, it's all for a purpose. Like, it has to come out. Like, if I don't feel it, there's no way it's gonna come out in my music. And I consider myself to be like a lover of the genuineness of people and just like the truth about where they are and what's going on. And so, like, as musicians, like, for us to truly like reflect the times and reflect what's going on, and not just reflect it but offer some sort of like solace for it, you know, like that's the least we can do. Yeah, absolutely.
And a path forward, a way through it, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Sorry to interrupt. But,
No, you're
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's funny sitting here at the label, and I don't know when it hit me, but it hit me at some point. Like, wow, these are the leaders. Like, nobody's really talking about that, you know? When I was younger, you know, we had leaders in politics who were actual leaders, unlike today. And we had leaders in sports. You know, we had Muhammad Ali, Jackie Robinson. Like, that was there. People were leaders. But nowadays, it seems like kind of everything has become so commercialized that those people aren't leaders anymore. Like, even you can look. It's hard to, I don't want to go too far into this, but you know, one of the criticisms that came out of the Orange House was, well, you know, they're making money. So, you know, they should just be quiet, right? Yeah. So it's like, and I'm sure everybody's had to deal with that at a point, but you kind of look at it and you're like, wow, you know, they aren't really leaders. No, we're starting to see it come back around again, which is great. So, but musicians in general have always been leaders in that way, and are now moving to, I think, a more prominent role. Yourself, right here in the label, you know, Terrace Martin, Christian Scott, you know, Mark Clever, all people talking about it and moving it forward. So I just want to stop and just say thank you, first of all, for all of that, because it's really, really enjoyable and purposeful. Atlanta? You grew up in Atlanta?
From about high school on, yes, I've been in Atlanta.
Where are you originally from?
Before that, I was in Chicago, and I was born in Cleveland.
Gotcha. Okay, I didn't know.
So I know. Yeah, it's a little triangle. I feel like I'm a Midwesterner at heart, but definitely with the Southern thing going on.
Atlanta is a really unique place.
It is.
In a lot of ways, but musically as well. Like, how much do you think Atlanta shapes your music, or you shape Atlanta music?
Oh my gosh. That's a great question.
That's a tough question.
Man, definitely. There's such a dual like push and pull, because I grew up in Atlanta, you know, from my young teens up to my adulthood life, and so I wasn't even singing for real. Like I was in chorus, I was in choirs, but you know, I was like super shy, didn't want to really sing in front of people. So Atlanta, once I got to my church at my youth group, like that's where I really started blossoming, like trying to find my sound and like being sensitive to different atmospheres and like just how music is so powerful in all situations, and being singing at my church helped me to sing other places, and singing other places helped me to sing at church also. Like it was just always just. Was
there any conflict there?
Thing.
Like singing in the church and outside the church?
See, I never experienced that.
Not at all.
No, it was almost like I was set up to kind of do that. Like the way was almost made, like not roses all the time, but it was almost made clear for me, like what I'm supposed to be doing. Like it's gonna go beyond the walls of the church or beyond these organizations and institutions. Like music is music, you know.
Okay. So back to Atlanta then.
Yes.
So so the church shapes how you perform in Atlanta.
Yes, and so one of the reasons why Soul Empowered is super, super important to me is because the people that I grew up with in that same church and in the Atlanta community, like for years, we've known each other since we were teenagers. Those are the people that are on this album. Like Justin Gilbert, Anthony Parrish, Brian Cockrum, like Ed Clark. I've known all these guys forever and ever and ever. So it's a joy to be able to really make music with them.
So then bring that to what else might be happening in Atlanta. Like my experience finding music in Atlanta actually came through someone in London.
Okay. Yes.
Brian Hurst.
Yes.
And it just seems like there are places that keep a certain style alive, but a lot of times it's just like that's all we had and we're holding on to that forever.
Exactly.
Atlanta seems to have a particular style of soul / jazz vibe, but isn't stuck in like that's all we're doing.
Yeah.
Like if you go to Minneapolis right now and you're gonna go down, you're gonna go to Bunkers or whatever the place. Honors, I can't remember the name of the place, but the band is still playing what they were playing in 1981. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And now there's probably a lot more happening in Minneapolis than I'm aware of, but that's still there. But you go to Atlanta and you kind of have this. You can feel like it's a retro thing, but it's also growing.
Yep.
So how did that? So then you go out into that from church, and that's.
Yeah, I basically started sneaking into open mic night places with people from my church, you know, before they started carding people. And I would just go and like have to be bribed into performing. And like once I got up there and was just like, I already knew I was in love with the live music performance aspect. And anytime there was a live band around, like I was just in love. So like it was hard but easy for me to get up there and just go do it. And then, but just the heartfelt, genuine response that I received from people, I knew that it was more than just me getting up there and liking to sing. Like, I knew there was going to be a purpose behind it early on, especially in church and, you know, just anywhere that I would go. But I love Atlanta's progression. I love their love and their openness to have versatile styles and types of music. And people like Kyrie Cabral Simmons are one of the very amazing people who have put me onto so much music, like, you know, Sergio Mendes and all the bossa and soul stuff over in Brazil, and just so many different kind of world music feels. So he really heightened my love for world music, and I think he does a good job at you know, showing that type of progressiveness in Atlanta. A lot of love.
Yeah, I mean, these are key people in my process. You know, Atlanta Records probably one of the first people I met. Yeah. And got a couple of records with us. So
Love you, Kyrie.
Exactly. Same. How are we for time, Mr. Brown? Oh, I got it right here. Good. Do you have a favorite track on this record?
Man, guess what? That has been the hardest question of the century. Like, seriously. And it's not even like, oh, it may be one or it may be this one. It's like, it may be this one, or this one, and then if I'm feeling this way, it's gonna be that one. So,
gotcha.
If I had to just say a favorite, oh Lord, I'm just gonna go "You Gotta Love You" because it's just my jam. It's my jam.
It's really nice. It's the lead track too, so it just kind of sets the tone.
Exactly.
You know, put it on. Everybody in the room goes, "Whoa, what's that?" It's good. So you have a couple guests on here too. I might want to talk about that.
I do.
Tariana? Is that?
Tariana.
Sorry.
We're just gonna call her Tank because that's what she goes by.
Tank. There you go. Because she's tired of people doing what I just did.
Yes, and that's fine because she understands. But yes, Tank from Tank and the Bangers. If you know, in case no one knows who they are, they won NPR. Yes, everyone at this point should. If you don't look them up. They won the NPR Tiny Desk contest last year, or the most recent one, and they're just amazing, like an amazing configuration of musical geniuses. And she was so kind enough to bless me with her presence on a track called Soul Glow. And so,
she's from Atlanta?
No, she's from New Orleans, actually.
New Orleans?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, that track is basically just like me doing some beat bop, take 6 background vocals, and then her doing like this spoken word / singing / rhythmical journey type singing that she does. And so I like that one.
Nice. And then I see PJ Morton here.
Yes, PJ Morton is always a family favorite. He's also from New Orleans, so I didn't do that on purpose, but they just happen to be like in my inner circle at the moment. Well, PJ's been there from the beginning, the very beginning. So he's on a song called Craters. It's a duet that I'm very, very happy about.
Yeah. And then how is Snarky Puppy on here again? You just keep getting.
How did that even happen?
Snarky Puppy just.
I have no idea. There's like these hidden tracks that just like kind of, say, hey, we're here, we're ready to go, and we're for this album, and it could not have fit better. Nice. They're on the track.
Yeah, that. It's funny. Like if I had to pick 2, I would say first and last track, and maybe Craters. Good. But like because it just comes in perfectly and goes out perfectly. You know, I want to hear that. All right. So what's next in the mix? More shows.
More shows. We're getting ready for the official album release in Atlanta, which is at Vinyl.
Nice.
At Center Stage.
I don't think I've been to Vinyl.
Good
place?
I don't know if you've been in there.
Yeah.
It's inside the Center Stage building. There's Vinyl, and then there's the Loft, and then there's the actual Center Stage. But mine is at Vinyl.
Gotcha.
October the 14th. So we're just getting ready for that.
Yeah.
Yep, Saturday night.
Any guests or just you?
Can't say.
Okay. Buy your ticket and find out.
Yes, buy your ticket and find out.
There we go.
There will be at least one special guest, but I got the home playing with me. And yeah.
Good. And then more touring on the road?
More touring.
Gonna go to Europe?
Yep.
Or? People in London are asking for you.
I know. I gotta go back. Like, my first time and my first show there was absolutely amazing. Like, packed house, sold out crowd. They were singing all the lyrics to all of my songs, all of my covers, every single thing. And I'm like,
how do they know all this stuff?
What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
So I gotta go back. I've gotten a lot of love from there.
Where did you perform in London the first time?
Oh man.
Do you know?
229 the venue.
229?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know it.
Yep.
We'll get back. We should do an Atlanta Records.
Yeah, I'm down.
Everybody go over to London.
I'm down for it.
Hang out and do a big thing.
Maybe a jazz cafe or maybe somewhere else. Just depends. Yeah.
At Ogan Hall. So Brian just did a thing there with some of your label mates.
Oh, cool.
Nishan Young and Lindsay Webster and Molly Tentarelli.
Okay.
Got a record coming up in the spring. So
my girl.
next time we'll have to get everybody over to London.
Let's go. Let's do it.
All right, well, I'm excited. We've only got about 2 weeks. We got to get back to work. I want everybody to support this record.
It's right around the corner.
It all just happens so fast.
I didn't even know I was doing another album. It was like, all right, let's do another album. Okay, let's go.
There it is.
Bam.
So October 13th.
Yes.
Check out Atlanta Got Soul on Twitter and your site, ChantaeCann.com. Yep. And thank you for coming up.
Thank you for having me.
See you. Everybody should get out to Philly. This won't air tonight, but all right. So, all right.
Yay! Hug it up.
Chantae Cann hugs are the best.
Yay!